test is available to anybody grades from sophomore year to seniors. So as early as being a sophomore, you can take this test. What's good, y'all? Welcome to my channel. It's your girl Alana. If you're new to my channel, what's Gucci? If you're not new to my channel, welcome back. Basically, in today's video, I'm going to be explaining how I graduated early, because I am officially a high school graduate. I am officially a high school graduate, and I actually am officially a college student now. I just got my classes at my new school. I'm going to be starting in the spring of 2020, but that isn't what this video is about. We are going to get to know how I graduated early, because I know a lot of people that I was like, when I was actually going to school, everybody was saying they had senioritis. I had senioritis. I couldn't manage finishing senior year. Like, I've never liked high school. I transferred to a new school this year, still the same drama, still the same BS. Like, it's not a thing for me. I was ready to get out. I was like, I need to boom. And so I was like kind of researching ways, like, is there any way I could like finish early, maybe do homeschooling? And I was like, but I shouldn't really do homeschooling because it's not good if you go to university. There's just like all of this stuff going back and forth, and I was like, ugh, I'm stuck. So I was talking to my friend, and she was like, oh, there's this thing, it's called a CHSP, and it's like a test, and you could take it and you can graduate early. And I was like, really? I was like, because that's the greatest thing I've ever heard. Like, how do I sign up? What do I do? She's like, okay, so you go to this website, So I went in to the office and I talked to my counselor, and I was like, hey, do you know like what the CHSP is? Can you tell me more about it? And she was like, I don't really think that's the right thing for you. And I was like, well, I personally don't think that high school is a good place for me. Like, I couldn't do it anymore. I was like really at my breaking point. Like, if I stayed, I probably would have ended up just getting kicked out. Like, I don't have time to deal with the drama anymore, and like, I just wanted to punch everybody. And you know, punching people isn't the best thing in the world to do at school. Outside of school, maybe, you know, at school, just let's try not to do that. But it was just, I was done. I was ready to be done. So I did more research on my own, and basically the route that I chose to take was to take this test called a CHSP, which is an abbreviation for California High School Proficiency Exam. And basically it tests you on all of the basics that you need to learn in high school, like all the requirements for graduation. And so it tests math, and it tests English, and there's a reading subtest, and then there's like a comprehension. So it's like a 2-part for English, and you have to write an essay, and then it tests you on math. So it's kind of like a SAT, just not as difficult. Or for me personally, it wasn't as difficult, because the way that I'll map it, I'll say my SAT score, I got a 1230 on my SAT. So I'm pretty high up there on the ranking for SAT scores. I think my score was in like the 85th percentile or something like that, which isn't really like, that's not bad. Actually, it's not bad at all. So my score is pretty up there. So like, as is, like my whole life I took advanced classes, so everything that was on that test for me was easy. But just because it was easy for me doesn't mean that it's easy for everybody else, because I've always been a more, like, I don't want to say smarter, but school's always been easy for me. Like, I'm one of those people that's easy to learn things, it's easy to do it, like I don't forget stuff. Like, school has always relatively been easy for me, and that's why I check out, because it's like, I don't need to learn this. But so basically everything that they were testing, I would say, I don't know how like your school system does it, but where I live in like the area out here, there's 3 levels of math. There's IM1, IM2, and IM3. And typically that would be freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and then senior year you can choose to take a math, or you can take statistics or pre-calc, I think, or trig. I don't know how other schools work, but something like that. But for me, I took IM1 in 8th grade because I was in an advanced math class. I took IM2 honors freshman year, IM3 honors sophomore year, and then I took AP Stats junior year. And this year I was supposed to be in calculus, but I never took pre-calc, so they made me take pre-calc. Since I had already taken all those math classes and I was taking classes that were so high up, everything that I was being tested on is stuff that I already knew. So it's kind of like a review for me, so it wasn't that difficult. I actually almost got a perfect score on the math section, I believe. How the scores work for the CHESP, you have to get a 350 on each section. On the English section, or a minimum of 350 on the math section, a minimum of 350 on the English section. And I think there's like, your score has to be different depending on your writing score. But the scale for like the essay is 1 through 4 or 0 through 4. There's like 3.5. You can get like half scores as well. On the math section, the minimum was 350. I got a 430, and the maximum was like a 450. So I think when I looked at it, I had only got like 2 problems wrong or 3 problems wrong in the math section, which isn't bad, but that just shows like it's a, for me personally, it was just easy. And then the English one, I only got like 6 wrong. I got like a 400. Again, the minimum was 350, and I got like a 408 or something like that. And then on the last part, I got a 404, and then on the writing thing, I got a 4, which is like the perfect for the writing thing. And it was pretty easy. Like the writing topic was what in your opinion, what is the most interesting job and why, which is like super easy. Like it's just an opinion essay. But for me, I had been taking AP classes or AP English for the last 2 years, so I don't really write opinion essays anymore. But the way that I structured my essay was more on like the AP scale, so I got like really good points on like my writing structure and like stuff like that. But basically, you just test those 3 subjects. And so what you have to do is you have to go to, I want to say it's like CHESPE, the CHSPE dot something. And what you do is you go onto the website, you create an account, and you register for an upcoming test date. And they only test, I want to say, twice a year. They do it once in the beginning, which this year was October, which is when I took my test. They do it again in March. And the test is available to anybody grades from sophomore year to seniors. So as early as being a sophomore, you can take this test, but I wouldn't recommend taking it unless you truly think that you're prepared for it. And I also wouldn't take it unless you have a plan, because there is a downside to taking this route. So when you take the test to graduate early, you don't finish your A through G requirements, which means that you cannot go to a university. And since the CHESPE is a California high school proficiency exam, it's only valid in California. So when you do pass a test, you can go to a community college, only a community college, and it can only be in California. Doesn't matter which part of California, but it's California only. Majority of other colleges don't accept it, so that is a downside. But for me personally, there's a lot of outside factors and like money and spending, so the community college route was a lot cheaper and it's a lot smarter for me. And I like sat down and I mapped everything out. Like, is this truly what I want to do? Since I'm leaving my senior year, I'm gonna miss out on grad night, I'm gonna miss out on graduation, and I'm gonna miss out on prom. And I was like, okay, and I'm not gonna be there at school every day. I was like, okay, when I really think about it, like, I have an ASB card, they can't take that away from me. I still have my student ID card, so I can go to all games for free. If I wanted to go to prom, somebody can get me a guest ticket and invite me. Grad night, somebody can get me a guest ticket and invite me. Like, I'm not really missing out on anything big besides graduation. But what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to show up to graduation. And I bought a cap and gown. So I'm just going to go to graduation with a cap and gown and just take pictures with everybody, so that I can like get pictures. And my grandma was really, really big on pictures, like for scrapbooking and stuff. So I'll just go take some pictures for her. So I could do that, but I'm not actually gonna walk across the stage, which, I mean, it's a big deal, but my mom and my family can come watch my college graduation. But so this is not something that I would suggest that everybody does. It's something that you have to really consider. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great thing if you have a plan, but you need to know like what you're missing out on, what you're not going to be able to do. Because also, since you don't finish your A through G and you have to go to community college, like, is community college the route for you? Like, you can still transfer from a community college to a university. So like, if you wanted to, you could go to community, like say you took your test sophomore year, obviously you haven't finished your A through G, you can go to community college and finish your A through G and also start getting credits towards your degree. And you can do that at the same time, start that, and then you can transfer to a university and finish out there. So it's not like you can never go to university, it's you have to go to a JC first, and different universities require a different amount of credits and units. So basically, you just have to look up your school, and you can transfer as early as 1 year at a JC. So you graduate early, you go to a JC, and then the next year you can transfer to a university. Like, it's not negative. Like, as long as you know what you want to do with it, it's a good thing. Like, I would suggest doing it. Just for me personally, I've never been like a high school person. It's just that I'm always around sorry, I'm always around the same people all the time. It's always the same drama, always the same things. Like, I was ready for something new. Like, the community college I'm going to isn't far from where I live, but college is so different. Like, people from everywhere go there, so like I can meet new people, be like in a different group, just like a different setting. And also, like, I have more time for myself. Like, with college, you only have to go to a certain number of classes a day for a certain amount of time, as opposed to high school, it's every single day. Like, there's no breaks, and I feel like it's just different. Like, it is different. So I'm excited to start and just start something new. So since I did graduate early, I should be posting a lot more, because now I am free 100%. Don't ever have anything, well, I can't say I don't ever have anything to do, because that's not true, but I don't have to go to school. I don't start until January, so from now until January I'm out of school. So if you guys want to see any videos and like any video topics in particular, leave those down below in the comments, because now I have nothing else to do but do it. But yeah, so back to what I was saying about, like, when I took my test, I had to drive all the way up to Fresno to take my test, because I signed up in the late deadline registration, which I do not recommend doing at all, because I had to drive to Fresno. I live in Southern California, and driving to Fresno was like a 4-hour drive to go take a test. So I left on Friday and then came back Saturday after I took the test. Now, if I would have failed the test, I would have been so upset that I wasted all that time and money and gas, because what? But yeah, so make sure you sign up on time, make sure you talk to your parents, make sure you talk to your counselor. Most importantly, talk to your counselor. It'll basically tell you, like, oh, each section, it'll focus, it says passed, it says everything that I passed, and then it says my score, and then it says how many I got wrong. So like I said, in the math section, I only got like 3 or 4 questions wrong. I got 4. It tells me how many I got right, how many out of how many in each section, tells me my scores and all of that. And I give you a paper that says, congratulations, you've passed, blah 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 blah. And then in the back of all of that is this, and it literally looks just like a diploma. Like, it looks exactly like a diploma, except it says high school certificate of proficiency. So that's what that is. And then it has the number, it has my name, and then at the bottom, if it'll focus, it says that this is recognized to have equal. It is so hard to read that backwards. It says recognized for all purposes as the legal equivalent to a high school diploma. That's what it says right there. Legal equivalent of a high school diploma. So legally, this means the same thing as a high school diploma. So that is the paper, and that basically just means that I graduated. I went up to the community college that I'm going to be going to, and I got all of my classes and stuff. So like I said, I'm going to be getting a degree, or my associate's degree in business management. I got all my courses and stuff, and since I took AP classes in high school, I took all the way up to English, AP Lang, and composition, and I passed that AP test, And when I took, they make you take a placement test, which is this one. They make you take a placement test to like show what classes that you should be taking. For English, it placed me in English composition, which is the highest English that you could take there. And I already took that AP test and I passed it, so I don't have to take English in college, and I also don't have to take math to get my degree. So isn't that just great? Like, wow. But yeah, so I should be finishing, I should have my associate's degree in about a year and a half, which is super exciting. I really don't even need to be getting my degree, because what I want to do is I want to run my own business, which should be coming soon. I'll probably end up starting my lash line, hopefully get it launched in January, possibly, maybe. I have to do some budgeting, wait till I get my next paycheck and all of that and get everything settled. But this has been something that I've been planning for a while. I actually started planning it like over a year ago, but I never was able to get like the amount of money that I needed to start it. But now I have enough money of my own to start it, so I'm the one who's putting up like the money. I'm the one who's risking. Hopefully the risk is worth the reward. But I will be having a lash line coming soon. It'll be styles like these, like long, these are not from my lash line, but like I like lashes that are like long and full. But like even these, like they look good though, like they're not too much. Like I'm gonna be doing like dramatic ones and natural ones, like wide variety. I'll probably start with like 5 or 6 pairs, maybe something like that. But coming soon, stay tuned. I still haven't decided on like a name yet. I've been going back and forth on like a name for a minute, but we'll see. We'll get it done. I'm gonna get it done. That's one of the things on my list, since I have all this time in the world now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helped you, gave you insight about it. If you guys wanted to do more research about it, make sure you go online, look it up. And as I said, this is only valid in California. So if you do not live in California, do not go to school in California, this is not for you. You also have to be a sophomore or higher. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you guys in my next one.